Welcome back, my name's Steve. Thank you for joining me today on my photography journey. Today I want to try something a bit different. So I've got into a period where I keep going to the same places, take the same kind of pictures, and don't feel very inspired at the moment. But what is quite good is that I'm still going out, I'm still taking pictures, still practicing using my camera, and everything that comes along with that. So still editing, still making the most of being out and about with my camera, but just kind of lacking a bit of inspiration. All my pictures are kind of starting to look the same. So I want to try something slightly different. What I've kind of been doing is taking my Z5 out with me when walking the dogs. I wandered around with it, carried it everywhere, taken a few snapshots more than anything. I've not really thought about the composition. I've not really thought about what to include in the picture, what not to include in the picture. So that is something that I want to do something about and see whether I can make some changes in order to make that better. As you know, I've talked a lot about the basics of photography, of like how to press the button and things. Something I've not really talked about is composition, and generally speaking that's because I don't know much about it. I've read books about it, I have watched a number of YouTube videos about it, but it's not something I consciously think about when I'm out in the woods with my camera taking pictures. So that needs to change. I need to learn something about it and put it into practice, and then hopefully me doing that and filming it, talking about my experiences with it, will help you as well. Because if I'm struggling with it, then there must be at least someone else that's struggling too, and we can help each other. That's all I want from this channel, is to be able to help you and at the same time help me. What am I going to do about it though? So I don't really have time or the money to go away somewhere to try something new, shooting in a different location or anything like that. So I'm going to have to do it slightly differently to that. What I can do is impose some kind of restrictions on what I do. So when I'm out and about today, I am just going to take my 24 to 200mm lens and I'm going to leave it at 200mm and just take pictures at a focal length of 200mm, which is the full extent of the zoom on this lens. The reason I chose 200mm is because it is this lens fully extended, nothing more scientific than that, rather than like, oh, let's take everything at 135mm, which is there roughly. Lock it all the way to the end, that's 200mm. That is what I'm going to use to take my pictures today. So this is going to mean that I have to look at things a bit differently. I can't just put it on 24mm, take a picture and think, oh, I'll crop it once we get back to Lightroom. That won't work at 200mm. I'm going to go to a familiar place. I'm going to go to a lake and to a forest nearby and see what I can find in both of those. I'm going to take the dogs, because why not? And that means that I know the location. I don't have to worry too much about finding something to shoot. There'll be lots of things that I've taken pictures of before, but at 200mm, this will make it slightly different. And setting it to 200 means that I just fully extend that lens. As long as I've got my ISO set when I get to the woodland, it's a relatively bright day, so maybe 500. I will set my shutter speed so that it's not really anything lower than 1/100th of a second, so I know that I can comfortably handhold it. And I'll set my aperture to around about f8, f9, so that it's a landscape picture, there's more in focus essentially. And once I've done that, 200mm is a nice and easy thing to get to on my lens, so taking pictures, all I have to worry about is the composition. So having said that, let's go, let's take these pictures and then we'll come back and talk about them afterwards. This is a pretty good area to get some pictures. Up here we've got this pathway, so looking up at the details at the top there rather than taking the whole picture. And then if we come around this way, We've got this pathway down here where someone's walking up, but it looks pretty good to me, so let's get some pictures here. I thought that this might be quite a good area to take some pictures with some of the details of those two trees, but actually zooming all the way in means that it's far too zoomed in. I can either see the top or the bottom, but not really what I was after. So that's the problem with the 200mm focal length. So next up we're going to come along here, and I think there's a tree up here at the side which looks quite good for some details. So let's try and catch some of that. And there we go, that's definitely something that I couldn't get at 24mm. And then of course I've got the dogs with me. So Ruby loves to run, so capturing her at full speed when she's running is a great option. And then of course exploring the woods, there's always little details at the side of the trail that we like, and I saw this log covered in moss, and again this was too far away to get close to and get a decent picture, so being able to pick it out at 200mm was perfect. And good old Branston running through the fields and then occasionally actually posing for me. If you have any tips on composition or shooting at a particular focal length, any kind of challenges like that that you think I should try, leave them down below in the comments and we'll try and include that in a future video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week for more on my photography journey. Have a great week. Bye.